I know you've been waiting for this one because I gave you a cliffhanger, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Nasty of me, wasn't it? Yeah. Right. So, if you remember, I was in the pen and we were talking about stuff and we were brought together and they said, you've got to go into this building to go and sign some paperwork so you can continue on the rest of the course. So, duly off, I got up. I remember a couple of people went before me and they didn't come back. And I thought, well, nothing unusual with that. They must be going, they must be signing the paperwork and going on to the next whatever they got to do. So it got down. I was about halfway through the group. Can't remember exactly how big the group was, but then it's my turn. And I remember walking up to this building, a couple of vehicles parked outside. One of the DS going, yeah, in there, Phil. First name terms by now, which was nice. So off I go, walking up the steps. As I walk in, I notice a door open in this room. And as I stick my head round, I'll get shoved in the back, right? I'll get pushed in the back, and I remember turning round, and there's about 3 blokes running at me. So I head towards the door that I was going through thinking, right, I'm out of here now. As I go through that door, another 3 blokes come across the room. I get hold of the first one, bring him round here. Second one's on my back. I'm trying to pull him over, and I'm getting into a bit of a tear-up. I sort of like in my own mind now switch on and think, this is obviously part of the plan. And think to myself, if I start chinning people now, I could actually drop myself in a bit of trouble. So I had initially thought, right, I'm going to chin. I stopped myself, and I remember there was a little lad behind me. We had the Staffords, I think it was, who were doing our sort of like our enemy, as it were, or whatever it was they called them. But it was the Staffordshire Regiment. And I remember there was this one lad, and he was tiny, and he'd managed to get hold of me right arm. So I thought, what I'll do is, and he didn't know what to do with it, and he's up pulling it and pushing it and almost biting down on it. And I thought, right, what I'll do is, so I wrapped it up myself, put it up my own back into a gooseneck, and next minute I hear this young lad going, I've got him. So whoever that young lad is who's been dining out on the story of how he captured the SAS man and put him in a gooseneck, I've just rumbled you, all right? I've just rumbled you. If you are out there, get in touch, let me know, because I'd love to shake your other hand properly, all right? But it was genius, all right? He literally claimed the kill, as it were. It was hilarious. Anyway, the rest of them piled on me. I then got whipped up onto my feet. A hood went straight over my head. Boom. You know what phase you're in now, don't you? You're in the resistance to interrogation phase. So straight away, I'm being conditioned. Dogs are on me. I'm being dragged down the thing. Dogs are barking. I'm being pushed around. I'm being dragged straight in, stripped. All my clothes have gone. I'm butt naked apart from the hood on my head. They get in. I hear the doctor say, right, search him. So the doctor stood behind me, right? The doctor stood behind me, and I hear the dreaded glove go on, snap, as it hits his wrist, like, do you know what I mean? It goes up your bottom, doesn't it? You know where it goes. The finger goes up my bottom. Do you know what I mean? Now, we had both hands on my shoulders. No, I'm joking, all right? Oh, what a horrible feeling, all right? The internal search. They'd had me bent over this table, all right, with my hands on the table. The doctor's gone in, and I'm like, my toes curled almost back to my shin. I'm telling you, it was a horrible feeling. It really was a horrible feeling. The doctor turned around at me. He said, He said, are you okay, son? I said, I think I can feel your wedding ring. He says, that's not me ring, it's me watch. No, I'm joking. Horrible feeling, it really was. Anyway, that's your internal search. You were then chucked out. They put you in these old grey coat and these old fatigues. And then you got sort of manhandled again. And you were bunged on sat on the floor, legs crossed, arms behind you, tied, hood on, dressed in this old stuff. You don't know what's going on. It's extremely disorientating. Next minute, I'm loaded onto the back of a truck, and I must have been on the back of this truck driving around for a good few hours. Again, you couldn't really see much. I'm trying to see out of the sandbag. I'm trying to look down, look around, see what's going on. I know there's other people on the truck. I can hear other people shuffling around, coughing, all that sort of stuff. But every time someone tries to say something, a hand comes on your head. Boom. And you're like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh, dear. You're in it now. And then before you know it, we were stopping. The back of the truck came down. My hood came off. My hands are untied. You're on the run. And this is the famous going on the run on selection. So literally you got forced given a piece of paper, and I just legged it straight away on my own, got away from other people as much as I could, opened this piece of paper up, and it gave me directions of where I needed to be for the next one. It was a hand-drawn map of where I needed to go for the next thing. So I got to the next place after I'd orientated this thing, worked out where I was. Got to the next place, same thing, Agent RV, got given another piece of paper, boom. And we went to this series of literally moving from A to B on your own. There's helicopters up, there's dogs barking, there's people permanently patrolling the roads, the locals are looking out for you and all that sort of stuff. So you can't really... You can take stuff off of people. You can go and take, food off people. You can knock them up. But if you get caught, that's it. It's index for you. So you run this sort of like risk of weighing up, can I get something, can't I get something? And I was like, I just didn't want to get to this stage of selection and fail. So literally, I spent my whole time on the run, bouncing around. I did take a little bit of help off one particular civilian who gave me some food and that sort of stuff, but I didn't make it too much of a sort of like knocking on everybody's door like a beggar. Do you know what I mean? I found some cigarette butts in a some cigarette butts in a bus station, in a bus stop. I found some more cigarette butts in a telephone box. So I had a bit of tobacco so I could have a little bit of a puff at night and that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I was quite happy. And every time you made an Agent RV, you got given a cheese sandwich. 2 bits of bread, no butter, and a bit of cheese in it. But I'm telling you what, it was the best cheese sandwich on earth. It really was. And sometimes hovering around these sometimes hovering around these Agent RVs, you'd bump into other people who were also doing the same thing. So you might send just one of you forward to get the instruction. They'd get the sandwich and you'd share it. And that was the deal. And then obviously you keep just going. Now I fell down a bank running away from a dog team on about day 4 or 5 of being on the run. And I cut all the back of my head open. I could feel it on the top of my head. I was like, oh no, this is ridiculous. Although it wasn't enough to stop, I knew that when I got in, they might well ask me to leave the course because I've got a great big gash on the back of my head. I'm like, oh no. So I don't want to say nothing. So the last couple of days I patched it up as best I could. I kept moving. And then the last RV you go to, which you don't know when it's going to be, you get lifted. Again, it's hood back on, arms tied, thrown in the back of the wagon, dogs barking all over you, that sort of stuff. But when you're dragged out next time, you go straight into this like building where it's all white noise and interrogation and all that sort of stuff, and there's people screaming and shouting, and that's where you start getting interrogated properly. Now, I can't go in to too much of the methods and that used in interrogation. I'm not really supposed to do that. So let's just say it's tough, it's hard, it's horrible, it's honking, and it did get to play on quite a few people's minds who probably gave up while they were in that interrogation. It is intense, it's disgusting, but again, it's nothing probably compared with being captured for real. And, the shock of being captured for real, and I have been captured once, and I have been locked up as well in a non-forbidding country, do you know what I mean? So I know what it's like. That shock of capture really is, boom, it's like, gives you the driest mouth you could ever possibly have. So, yeah, the training is extremely realistic. At the end of that, you come out of there, and I remember, again, the DS was sat in front of me, and they said, look, if you see the DS in front of you with mind tape on your arm and somebody tells you the exercise is over, then it's over. And I just didn't believe him. I didn't believe it. It must have taken this time about half an hour for me to seriously believe that it was over and stop doing what I'd been told to do and all that sort of stuff. I was like, no, I'm playing this out. No, I'm not being caught. No, you're not going to get me. And eventually, I came round and I remember you go almost straight into a debrief. Now, they encourage you to try and take something on the run with you. And before you get lifted, a lot of guys would swallow a Durex with a button compass in it and maybe a £50 note folded up and all that sort of stuff. And I remember saying to the guy, this interrogator, and he'd been a bit of a when he was interrogating us, and I thought, I'm going to have you when I come out of here. And he sat in front of me and he's going, I think personally, Campion, you would have probably died, blah, 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 blah. He was slating me and he said, oh, by the way, did you manage to get anything out? And I said, yes, I did. I said, I got a button compass, I got a £50 note and a folding saw. And I can see him looking at me going, where did he put the folding saw? Yeah, you know. And if you're watching, son, yeah, well, there was no folding saw, all right? Yeah. Anyway, that was that. That was interrogation phase over. So now, really, there's a bit more to go. But again, I'll tell you all about that next time. How about that? There you go. You like that, don't you? Right. See you next time.